any better than their parents did. Whatever your parents did for a living, whatever your grandparents did for a living, that's what you were stuck doing. That has been the human condition for almost all of human history. That started changing a couple hundred years ago, when on this continent some extraordinary people wrote down on a document called the Declaration of Independence the heartfelt principle. The true principles that say that every single person that has ever lived, every single person on the planet is born with certain rights that are given to them, not by their government, not by their leaders, not by their king, their president, or even by their constitution. These are rights that are given to you by your Creator. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. But at its core, what that means is that every single person has the right to have an opportunity to go as far as their talent and their work will take them, to make of their lives the most that they can without any artificial barriers. Now that's wonderful, written on a piece of paper, but then you have to live it. And we have. And the reason why we have lived it so successfully is not just because of our political freedoms, but because of our economic ones. Because of a system of free enterprise that says, if you have a good idea and you're willing to work hard, you're going to have a chance here, and it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter that you're a worker, you can be an owner. It doesn't matter that you're an employee, you can be an employer. It doesn't matter that your parents were poor and disadvantaged, you should have the right to have a chance to go as far as your talent will take you. People like me and so many of you that have been born and raised in this country, who have lived here our entire life, this is all we've ever known. It's easy to take that for granted. We can't. America is the exception, not the rule. The freedoms that we have, the opportunities that we've had economically, this is not the way most people have lived, or even the way most people live now. And so what we are fighting for in every generation is not just to maintain that, but to build on it, to perfect it even more, and to hand it down to the next generation of Americans. And that's what's at stake in this election. Because I'm not saying they don't love America, and I'm not saying they don't want America to be exceptional. I'm saying to you that our opponents in this election have ideas that have never worked anywhere they have ever been tried. That they have ideas for government that have failed everywhere they've ever been attempted. Their ideas are the ideas of countries that people come here to get away from. They try to tell people that if you're struggling, if you're hurting, if you're trying to make it, that big government is the way forward. But here's the truth. Here's the truth. One of the great lies, one of the great myths that some try to spread in American politics is that big government helps the people who are trying to make it. That isn't true. In the words of a well-spoken Vice President, Mr. Joe Biden, these are the ideas that bury the middle class. Big government doesn't help people who are trying to make it. And look, I don't want to pick on him for a moment, but I will. Apparently, the Vice President was somewhere yesterday. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was in Iowa bragging about how much they were spending in Wisconsin, or he was somewhere and he mixed up the states. I said, Ohio? I'm talking about Iowa. So it's great to be here with you today in Virginia because, anyway, this idea that big government helps people that are trying to make it is not true. Let me tell you the truth. The truth is that the big companies, the big corporations, the multi-billionaires, they probably don't like big government, but they can afford to deal with big government. They can hire the best lawyers in America to find the loopholes to the taxes and to the regulations. And if that doesn't work, they can hire the best lobbyists in Washington to create them. They can use the power that they have and the access to power that they have to deal with it, although they may not like it. Here's who can't deal with it. Someone who's trying to start a business out of the spare bedroom of their home. The worker that desperately wants to be an owner. The employee that wants to take out their life savings and open up a business. They can't do all that. They're the ones that get crushed by big government because they can't afford to figure it out and they can't afford to deal with it. And so it is a lie to say that big government helps the people that are trying to make it. It doesn't. There is only one recipe to protect and grow and make more secure the great American middle class, and that's free enterprise and limited government.